Hello, readers. Welcome to another reading class with me, Miss Taylor. I'm glad you're here. All right, let's see if we're ready to read. Do we have our textbook? Do we have a bookmark or our finger, something to track with, follow along? Need our workbook and a pencil. We are going to remember to track with our finger or a bookmark, to read each word carefully, paying attention to end marks. And some of our goals, we're going to read with accuracy, and that means reading each word correctly and precisely, and expression. So we're going to try to add some feeling to our voices as we're reading. We, of course, want to understand what's happening in the story. So we want to comprehend or understand what we're reading. And we're going to make connections to how characters are feeling in the story. And of course, we're going to enjoy the story. All right, we know that reading is thinking. There's so many things that are happening in our brains. We're making connections to, ooh, that happened to me once, or how did that feel? Or how do I think that character is feeling right now? We're visualizing, we're kind of imagining in our minds what is happening and what it might look like and feel like. We're asking questions, we're wondering. Um, we are summarizing, we're kind of thinking about, what was important about that story? So, like in the last story, if we wanted to kind of summarize, we could think, well, at the end of last story, there was an explosion, and Carla and Edna had to get off of that island. And at the end of the story, there was a loud bang, and the volcano exploded. And then, as Carla and Edna were trying to get away, there was a crack that went right underneath Edna, and then she was in the water, and we were like, oh, I hope she's okay, because she was in deep water. And so that's kind of what happened in the last story. So we're constantly kind of summarizing and telling ourselves the important details or events of what happened. We're predicting. Our brains are always thinking, oh, I think I know what's going to happen. And then we're synthesizing. We're coming up with new ideas and allowing our thinking to change. Like I'm thinking, wow, remember at the beginning of the story, the girls were kind of bored in the ship, in Captain Parker's ship. Now they're not bored, are they? It's definitely not boring anymore. All right, and we're inferring, and that means we're kind of figuring things out as we go. We're using what we know and combining it with clues from the story in the text to figure things out. All right. So here's our new vocabulary sentence we talked about last time. She automatically arranged the flowers. She automatically arranged the flowers. All right. So second graders, what word means without thinking? Yeah, automatically. What word means she put things where she wanted them? Yeah, arranged. Nice job. All right. Let's take a look at lesson 34. We are on page 168. Page 168 in our textbooks. And let's take a look at column 1. Please follow with your finger or a bookmark. Word 1 is approach. When you approach something, you move toward it. Everybody, what's another way of saying they approached the counter? I mean, they moved toward the counter. Yeah, I kind of gave you the answer, didn't I? They approached the counter. So when you approach something or someone, you move toward it. Miss Taylor approached the computer. Okay. So word 1 is approach. What word? Word 2 is bandage. What word? Word 3 is laundry. What word? Word 4 is stomach. What word? Word 5 is mysterious. What word? And word 6 is Tuesday. What word? All right, let's try that the fast way. Approach, bandage, laundry, stomach, mysterious, Tuesday. Nice job. Let's go to column 2. All these words have more than one syllable. The first syllable is underlined. Word 1, underline part, and the whole word. Word 2, underline part, and the whole word. Word 3, underline part, and the whole word. Word 4, underline part, and the whole word. Word 5, underline part, and the whole word. And word 6, underline part, and the whole word. Nice job. Let's try that the fast way. Oh, and before we do that the fast way, this first word, blisters. So think about, have you ever gotten a blister, maybe on your foot or on your hand? I know, so blisters are kind of like sore bubbles that form from rubbing or burning. If you've ever gotten burned by something, there might have been a little blister. Or if you're rubbing, like my kids have been doing a lot of like the monkey bars when we were going camping a few weeks ago when it was warmer. They were doing the monkey bars at this playground and their hands were kind of getting sore, like almost having little blisters because they were so much rubbing. Ooh, friction. So blisters, sometimes you can get blisters on the back of your feet from new shoes. If you ever had new shoes and you get blisters. Okay, so back to the fast way. Blisters, adventure, unreal, neither. You can also say neither or neither. Both are correct. Shadow, supplies. Nice job. And column 3, we're just going to go the fast way. Throat, chew, nor, rim, beneath, honestly. Nice job. All right, let's go to, actually, we're going to do part B, and we have a little information about underlined words in part B, and then we'll read what happens with Carla and Edna. Please follow with me. Part B, underlined words. Some of the words and stories you will read must be spoken loudly. Here's the rule about words that must be spoken louder than other words. The words that must be spoken louder are underlined. Listen to that rule again. The words that must be spoken louder are underlined. Say that rule. Get ready. Yeah, nice job. The words that must be spoken louder are underlined. To the right are sentences with underlined words. Say the underlined words in a loud voice. Say the other words in a soft voice. I'll read the first sentence. That is wrong. Oh dear. Sometimes if students have run the classroom and anytime someone gets something incorrect, I just say really loudly, that is wrong. No, I'm just kidding. That's not very nice, is it? I would not say that. No. I don't think I'd like it if someone said that to me. Anyway. All right, everyone, let's read that sentence. Get ready. You're going to say, that is wrong. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, let's try number 2, or part B, excuse me. You are a crook. Okay, part C. I am not a crook. Part D. I'm tired of reading. My name is Sam. My name is Sam too. This book is hard. If you think your book is hard, try reading this book. You sure like to talk. Well, that was fun. So yeah, we can read certain words with a little more feeling, and we can read them louder if we want to kind of emphasize or draw attention to those words. And that is what helps us to read with expression. All right, let's look at part C, back in the lifeboat. All right, let's find out what happens to Carla. The lifeboat was floating on a bright, shining sea. The sea was so calm that it looked almost as if it was made of glass. Maybe you can imagine it's so calm and smooth, it's like glass. When Edna looked down, she could see different colors. Where the water was not very deep, the color was green. Deeper spots were blue, and the deepest spots dark blue. The sun pounded down on the girls. Edna had blisters on her hands from rowing, but she was not rowing now. She was just sitting. Whew. In the far distance, a billowing cloud rose high into the sky. Ooh, what was making that billowing cloud? Yeah, the volcano. Remember from the last story. Edna could no longer see the island. So they got away. They escaped. As she sat there in the lifeboat, she realized that they didn't have supplies. They didn't have any supplies. What kinds of supplies would they need if they were going to stay on the ocean for very much time? What do you think? Yeah, they would need fresh water because the ocean is made of salt water. And so you can't drink the salt water. It will just make your body feel really dehydrated and you'll get sick. So they would need fresh water. They would need some kind of shelter or some kind of shade or like sunscreen so they didn't get really sunburned. They would need food. Wonder what they're going to do. Are you making a prediction? There were no other islands in sight. The boat seemed to be drifting in a current, and the current was taking the boat to the west. But how long would it be before the girls spotted another island? What would they do if they didn't find land soon? Edna was already starting to feel thirsty. She tried not to think about it, but when she swallowed, she noticed that her throat was dry. Oh, has that ever happened to you? Your throat gets really dry? I know sometimes in the night when I'm sleeping and I wake up, I usually keep my water bottle right next to my bed because my throat gets dry. Ooh. Yeah, and she can't drink the ocean water because the ocean water has salt in it. And salt water is not really safe to drink. I mean, you can drink it, but it will end up just actually drawing moisture out of your body and you'll get dehydrated and you could die if you drink too much. Neither Edna nor Carla had said anything for a long time. The adventure they had on the island was so unreal that Edna didn't know what to say. Suddenly, Edna noticed that the boat was drifting faster. When she looked to the west, she got a very sick feeling. In the distance, she could see the rim of a whirlpool. Not again. The boat was moving toward it, speeding faster and faster through the green water. The rushing sounds got louder and louder. Now the boat was moving over the rim of the whirlpool. Hang on, Edna shouted as she grabbed onto the side of the boat. She hung onto it with all her might. The boat sped around and around and around. Edna looked up at the sky. The clouds seemed to be spinning around and around. The boat was going deeper and deeper into the whirlpool. Now Edna could see a great cone of water above the boat. The boat was spinning so fast that its force pressed Edna against the bottom of the boat. She felt sick and dizzy. She squeezed her eyes closed as tightly as she could. Then the sound seemed to fade away and everything went dark. Just darkness. Oh my goodness. What do you think happened? Just darkness. Do you think she fainted? My goodness. All right, and those three dots, part of the story is missing. Heat, terrible heat. Where am I? Edna said aloud. Then she realized that she was lying in the bottom of the lifeboat. The sun was beating down on her face. The boat was not moving. As she sat up, she realized that there was some water in the bottom of the boat. The water was very warm. Hmm. So now they're out of the whirlpool. Oh, look at the picture. That's what they were in, but now they're not in the whirlpool anymore. Whew. And they found a little bit of water at the bottom of the boat. Edna looked over at Carla. Are you okay? Edna asked. Carla looked very sick. I think so, she said. What happened? I don't know, Edna answered. We were in a whirlpool. That's the last thing I remember. Are we dead? I said, what's happening? I wonder if she fainted. I don't think we're dead, Carla replied, but I don't remember how we got out of the whirlpool. I passed out. That means she fainted. I passed out too, Edna said. Slowly, she turned around and looked at the ocean. It was perfectly calm. She didn't see any signs of whirlpools, and she didn't see any billowing clouds that marked the island. Oh, we must be far from the island, Edna said. Read the rest of the story to yourself. Get ready to answer some questions. If you're still reading, please pause the video. What fact had Edna remembered about fish? Yeah, that they contain a lot of fresh water. So inside the fish is fresh water. So how could someone get fresh water out of a fish? Yeah, by chewing on raw fish. Would you like to do that? Everyone, did Edna look forward to chewing on raw fish? No. But if they did do this, what would they have to do first? Yeah, they'd have to catch the fish first. I wonder how they plan to do that. All right, what's next? You're going to reread the story on your own one more time, and then you're going to answer the questions at the end of the story. Then you're going to finish your workbook, and you're going to read for 20 more minutes. And in your workbook for today, there are no complete sentence answers. So have a wonderful rest of your day, readers, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.